Really, really crazy. So right now, can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat room. I had my mic turned off by mistake. If you can hear me right now, push a 1 in the chat room and let me know if you can hear. I want to make sure my volumes are sounding fine. Thank you. I was talking that whole time and I had my volume turned off. I've been having problems with that. That's on me. Basically what I was saying in a nutshell, I'm going to repeat myself here because you guys didn't hear anything that I was saying. Let me say peace to everybody that's out there. Tiffany Jackson, George Frazier's in the house, Paul, Phil for, let me see, Phil for 10. We've got, we have the Duvian, Panda's Hair. Miss Gigi is coming to the house. Peace to you. Glad to have you here. I'm not going to be on all night. I want to get right into the point of what I was saying when my mic was turned off, and I apologize for that. Let me just say, this whole thing smells of a setup. They give Breonna Taylor's mother, her family, $12 million settlement. The family said that they really weren't looking for money. They were simply looking for justice for their daughter, for her daughter. Okay, so they gave him $12 million because Crump, Benjamin Crump, he's the negotiating type lawyer. Okay, but the family wanted justice. They wanted to see these police officers, all of them, go to jail. So then they give them the settlement, and then all of a sudden they're tacking up wood. They're putting wood on the buildings. They're preparing for a riot. That should have told everyone just yesterday when they were doing that, preparing for this, that the verdict was going to be a bad verdict, not in favor of Breonna Taylor getting the justice that she deserves. And let me put her picture up here right next to me if I can. And there she is. So what we're finding out is that she didn't get the justice that she deserved because the police officers, 3 of them, didn't get charged. The main police officer who shot through the door, they gave him, let me break it down to you. Excuse me here. Let me break it down to you, everybody, what they gave this man. They gave him in Kentucky law, in the state of Louisville, Kentucky. In the state of Kentucky, their law for what the officer did is considered a Class D felony on the low end. I was researching this today. It's on the low end. What does that mean? That police officer, that piece of garbage, you know what? He may do no more than 1 to 2 to 5 years, 2 to 5 years in prison. Okay, before he's back out on the streets, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing that you should know, they have something called a pre-trial diversionary program. So he may not even go into prison, and I know this very well. He may not even go and do any time in a prison setting. They may give him a diversionary program, pre-trial diversionary, meaning they're going to look at his record. How many times has he been, there've been complaints about him? How many times has he has shot someone? What is his record? So there's a chance that this officer, everybody, may get, he may never do a time in a prison cell, okay? And even if he does go to prison, he's going to get a 2 to 5 year because they basically gave him a low-end Class D felony. That's what it's called in the state of Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky is the city, but the state has certain laws. The problem with this system, it's a broken system, is that the problem is the laws have to be changed. And we already know this. Anytime black women or men, and I'm not getting into that people of color crap. I'm not buying into that. No, this is a black woman and black men that are being killed out here. Anytime that we are done like this, we are harmed in any kind of way, ladies and gentlemen, we don't get justice. We still haven't gotten justice for George Floyd. We don't know what's going to happen in that case. That stuff, that hasn't come to fruition. We see it over and over again when black women and men become victims of police misconduct, police brutality. And these police officers have another protection. They have the qualified immunity, which it's up to Congress to do something to amend that system, that law, which the Supreme Court holds up and pushes. That no good, racist Supreme Court. Now, everybody is all up in there. Everybody is talking about the Supreme Court justice that just passed away. I don't speak any ill will of those that have died, that have passed away, but the Supreme Court itself has never really been a friend to black people. There have been certain laws like Brown versus Board of Education that went on in our way, but overall, when you look at the Supreme Court and their rulings, they have not really been a friend to black people. In our struggle, in our historical, I mean, there's been a few laws that were changed, but those laws were changed due to a heavy struggle and sacrifice, because protest and a movement requires sacrifice. Okay. Now we got the black man in the house, and he says, it wasn't shit. I said it. That's right. We got HH in the house. Do we ever have the numbers to vote these people out? We need to start looking at the people who pass the laws and policies. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I know that there's people out here who don't believe in voting. There's people who are not going to vote in this upcoming election, either because you don't like Joe Biden, you don't like Donald Trump, either way. But the reality is the only way some of this stuff gets changed is that we have to change the laws. It's just that simple. And personally, I think we need to infiltrate the system. We need to have more black people who have a revolutionary attitude to infiltrate these systems. Like the spook that's set next to the door, if any of you have read that book. To penetrate through these systems and do things that are in favor of us as a people. Black people. I'm not getting caught up in this people of color stuff that you see on the news, where you get these talking head folks making those statements. Last time I checked, black men, black women are the ones that continue to be harmed in this prison we call America, which Brother Neely Fuller Jr. speaks of in his compensatory practices, in his statements about the activities, areas of activities. What do we have? Those areas of activities being sex, law, right? Labor, education, war, military, all areas of activity we find ourselves being the victim of. Now, how many of you out there realize George Floyd, they said that he was asking for his life. He was begging for his life as he could not breathe about 8 minutes. Do you know when they shot and killed Breonna Taylor, she laid there for 20 minutes versus the 8 minutes that George Floyd was laying there begging for his life, okay, for 20 minutes. Another thing that's fishy about everything that's happening out here in Louisville is that they were trying to dirty up her character. You all know this. I don't have to repeat a whole bunch, but you know this. They were trying to dirty her up by getting the ex-boyfriend who had some ties to being a drug salesman or whatever. They tried to tie her to him, and by saying that she was allowing packages of drugs and money and things of this nature to be sold out of her home. The truth of the matter is they have unearthed this case is that they never had evidence, no hardcore evidence, that she was selling drugs or had drug money in the house. Even when they raided the house that night, they found no drugs, no nothing, no paraphernalia. The boyfriend that she was involved in that was living a particular lifestyle, and I have to say to the ladies out there that are listening, everybody, and this is not to throw shade on the sister, we do have to vet the people that we get involved with in relationships. Men have to vet women. women must vet men that they get involved with. Okay. And obviously she broke up the relationship with this guy. At some point in time, she cut her ties with him. And they had the audacity to go to the ex-boyfriend, who currently is in prison or doing some time. And the night that they went to the house, he was already in their county jail, I believe. Their intel was faulty. They found no drugs in the household, ladies and gentlemen. No drugs were found in the household whatsoever. Okay? No drugs were found in the household whatsoever that night, ladies and gentlemen. They tried to get the ex-boyfriend to turn evidence against her and say that she was dirty, dusty, musty, and was selling drugs and drug money. He wasn't going for it. That's the police department in Louisville. The same police department that shot the brother, and his name, and someone in the chat room put this name in the chat room if you know it. The brother that had who had the business, he had a barbecue business out there in Louisville. And the police, during the protest, he got shot and they left his body in the streets for hours. Just like they left Breonna Taylor's body in her home for 20 minutes, but they left his body outside for hours. And this is a man who fed the community. He was well known by the police, by all accounts. This is a brother that was giving even food to the police in Louisville. Now, I had a chance to talk to a young lady that's from Louisville that I originally wanted to bring on my program. Okay. And I wasn't able to get her on, but she told me in Louisville, it's commonplace commentary. It's commentary for the police in Louisville to treat black people like that, to leave bodies in the street like that, to profile people. So something's going on. They brought this to the grand jury. Why not a traditional trial? The police said, and the grand jury brought into the Kool-Aid, the police said that they knocked on the door and warned them, gave them a warning that, hey, this is the police at your door. There's 12 people that lived in this apartment complex who said they didn't hear the police say a damn thing. Do you hear me? A damn thing. They didn't hear them say a damn thing. "12 witnesses. How many of these people did the grand jury even interviewed to come to their conclusion that this man gets nothing but a Class D felony, which is the low end of felony under Kentucky law? He ain't going to do no serious time. And he gets a, what, $10,000 fine. Okay, $10,000. Whoa. She lost her life, but he gets a $10,000 fine and may only do 2 to 5 years in prison. And he may not even do that, folks. As I said, they have something called pretrial diversionary program. And these cops get away with this stuff because they have qualified immunity. Now, let me look at a few things in the chat. I appreciate people coming over, supporting the show. This is the impromptu live stream. I know I have not been on for the last, I did a show with Jay Speed last Friday. Did not do a show, like the Friday after last Friday, but I'm going to be getting back into my energy again. I'm going to be getting back into what I do over here with content. So I wonder how many of you out there in the chat room right now, we got Brother Aduvian, we got Storm in the house, we got Jay Dunn is in the house. Appreciate that. And let me do something real quick too, because my brother Gab Talk Media had came over and he gave me a super chat. And I want to definitely let that brother feel the love of the super chat. I appreciate the super chat too, Brother Gab Talk Media. So let me give you a little love here, brother. Give you a little love here. All right. So there we have it. Giving the brother a little bit of love there. He super chatted me. Everybody that's in the chat room, everybody that's in there, check each other's channels out, write each other's names down. There are some content creators in the house. We got my man Yapo's in the house. Peace to you. Check out his program, his channel. Brother Yapo, thank you for coming over, brother, tonight. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. And I'm talking about, you know, the Breonna Taylor circumstances. We know that what we saw was no justice. And as people say, no justice. You can't have peace if you don't have justice, ladies and gentlemen. No justice, no peace. And the people out there in Louisville, Kentucky, have every right to feel upset. And of course, they're going to bring people out and they're going to say, be calm, don't destroy public property, don't do A, B, and C. I get that. But the reality of what's happening as it relates to Sister Breonna Taylor is that we got a lot of BS going on, okay, with this. These cops are going to get off. This cop is going to get off. The other cops were not indicted in any way, shape, or form, okay? The Taylor, check this out. I don't know how many of you knew this. The Breonna Taylor's family wanted second-degree manslaughter. Now, you ask yourself, why would the family only want second-degree manslaughter for Breonna Taylor and not murder? Okay, which murder, by the way, is a legal term, ladies and gentlemen. Why would they not want that? Well, of course they wanted them to be hit with that charge. But this is the problem. They're living in a backwards state, Kentucky, under Kentucky law, because these cops are protected. They knew that they would not be able to make a case under Kentucky law, which is unjust. We don't have just laws and systems in this country. We have a system that does not benefit us. It benefits other people who have the complexion for the protection, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say it again, the complexion for the protection. The complexion for the protection. That's just the truth. And I always say that.
Tell the truth.
So they went with the second-degree manslaughter due to those ridiculous laws in the state of Kentucky. And as a result of that, they didn't get that. They simply gave this man what they called unwantedly causing damage. Now, this is the deal. This is the deal here. Some of you may think that he was charged with this felony because he shot into the house and he killed Breonna Taylor. Not true. Not true at all. Put the lovely lady back up there. The reason why he got the unwantedly, willfully shooting into the home, causing damage, causing risk to a lot of other people, that's what they're really charging with the Class D felony that he got, which is a low felony. They got him on the fact that when he shot through the house or through the apartment, that the bullets had ricocheted and went into other people's apartments. So those bullets could have very well harmed other people in the process. Okay? In the process of what was going on. So basically what they did is they basically charged him, and make sure you subscribe to the program, ladies and gentlemen. They basically charged him with endangering other people in the building. They gave them the benefit of the doubt because they were officers, for one, and for two, because in their minds, they saw the people in the household as criminals. So the reality is that police officer is not being charged under this felony, this Class D felony that he's getting for actually shooting or killing Breonna Taylor. So her being killed has gone uncharged here by a grand jury who I don't know what they're smoking. I don't know what they're smoking. I don't know what they're thinking. But I know that black people don't get justice at all, historically and currently right now. And I'm sick of having to do videos where I talk about this, but I had to talk about this tonight because of the fact that for the last 6 months or more, these police officers have been walking around free. You've got 12 witnesses that stated that her boyfriend, that they didn't hear the officers knocking at the door and warning and saying, "This is the police. We've got a warrant for your arrest." Bang, 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 bang. He didn't hear that. And if I'm not mistaken, and someone can correct me, I believe that Louisville, Kentucky is an open carry state because I saw they had militia, they had people out there. I saw women out there dressed in black and with red beret hats, and they had, you know, they had rifles on them. They had guns, semi-automatics, I think. So the young man was in the right to have his gun to protect what? His right to stand his ground, because if the officers didn't tell him or his woman, Breonna Taylor, who they were, then he had every right, don't you believe so, to be concerned for his safety, ladies and gentlemen, to be concerned for his safety and the safety of Breonna Taylor. So he had to get his own lawyer, and the lawyer was saying that under Kentucky law, he says that what they're doing wrong in this case is that the officers had no business. It's what they call a third party. Breonna Taylor became the third party. They had every right, I guess, they had no right. They had the right to protect themselves, yes, but they did not have the right in the process of shooting in killing Breonna Taylor, and in turn making bullets go through other neighboring apartments. So they had no right doing that. And so this brother Kenneth Walker, he has to get his own lawyer. He has a lawyer because they're trying to put pressure on him. And they already tried to get the ex-boyfriend, who they claim was pushing drugs in the household when he was with her. Check this out. I talked about this way some time ago. They also lied. And please, we got 60 people watching. Please hit the likes if you can. It helps the video. I talked about this before. And everybody out there, let me know if my sound is decent. If my sound coming out of my mic and my mix board is sounding just fine, put a 1 in the chat room to let me know that everything is sounding fine in the way it should sound. So just let me know. Let me have that peace of mind, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, they claimed that the post office had stated that they believed that there were drugs or something fishy going on with the packages that were arriving to Breonna Taylor's home. That was also BS. Come to find out that the post office never stated that they believed that that was something that was going on. That was fabricated or misinformation, poor intel that the cops brought to the table. That was garbage intel. Okay? Just complete garbage. What do you all think? Now, we got Real Aaron Collins is in the house, brother. Okay, good. My sound sounding great. We got Lockheed Boss, who I need to give her a ranch. I thought I had given you a ranch already, sister. And Lockheed, I need to get you. I know you wanted to talk to me about other issues that were happening, and I do need to get you on so that we can talk about some issues. So I will send you an email and we'll set it up. I apologize that we did not get a chance to talk about the other issues before when you were trying to connect with me on Instagram. So I give you all my apologies for that, but we're going to get it going for sure. And once again, make sure you subscribe to the program. I'm doing the best I can here to give you a quality program here. And I don't take anybody in the chat room for granted that's been supporting me. We got Jam It All in the house. Peace to you for coming in. Black Man. We got Tommy that's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Sister Lockheed. I thought I gave you, let me see. Oh. Okay, good. Okay, I gave you the moderator status. I thought I gave it to you and somehow it didn't come through. So I want to thank everybody that's in the chat room that's kicking it with me right now. So let me go into some more. So they lied about that. Okay, 12 juries said they didn't hear the police at all claim that they alerted. So Brother Walker was well within his right to defend himself and defend Breonna Taylor that night. And from 6 to 7 months that this has gone on, we've had the George Floyd situation. We've had Jacob Blake, who got shot 7 times in the back by the police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And now all this stuff has happened and still no justice for Breonna Taylor. No justice for her. She did not deserve to get shot in the back, shot like that and killed. And Jacob Blake didn't deserve to get shot in the back like he did. But this is the question, and I want everybody in the chat room to give me your opinion. This is the question that nobody's been able to answer. Why were the police there that night? Why were they there? They had no business there. Their evidence was weak at best, faulty, bad intel. Why were they there? You have not had the chief of police in Louisville, Kentucky, answer those questions. I don't think the governor who ran his mouth today answered those questions. Of course, you've got the Ku Klux Klan member himself, Donald Trump, who got up there in his press conference today talking about, the governor is doing very good. And then he basically patted the head of his buck dancing sellout, the attorney general, Daniel, what is this clown's name? What is this clown's name? Somebody put that attorney general. He's a black guy. He was speaking at the RNC convention, the Republican Klan, and of course the Democrats. I've got no love for the Democrats either, or I call them the Democrats. But what is that guy's name who's the attorney general? I know it's Daniel. What's the last name? I'll just go with Daniel for now. Somebody can put the last name in the chat room. But there's I can't even call him a brother, ladies and gentlemen. There's a so-called black man in Louisville, in Kentucky, who's the attorney general of this area, of the state, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the state. And he got up there in the RNC convention and he dropped Breonna Taylor's name. But yet he didn't do anything. All these months have passed and this Negro didn't do anything. But he gets up on the RNC convention, the Republican Klan, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, he says, let me get close to the screen. He says people like Breonna Taylor, people who have been unfairly, taken down or something like that, but you didn't do anything. Where were you, so-called brother, when she needed you? You're the attorney general. You didn't do anything. You sat on this whole case and didn't tell the public what was really going on. So when we've got buck dancing individuals like this that are supposed to be, they're black, but they look black, but everybody that's your skin folk ain't your kin folk. They look black, but they don't think with an ideology for their people because they're serving another God. Because Donald Trump gave them butter biscuits when he said today on CNN or when he was on Fox and all the other alphabet ridiculous channels that we got today. And by the way, I don't care what anybody says. YouTube, all the content creators out there, I'm giving them all a shout out, who do the type of content that I do, people who speak on truth.
Tell the truth.
About issues that are happening to our people and also come up with a solution. They're the only one. We're the only ones that are telling the truth. We're the only ones that tell you the information like it is. We don't sugarcoat it. See, I don't have to answer to a broadcasting manager or some editor. I don't have to answer to someone censoring me. Of course, yeah, they can censor you on YouTube. Of course they can. But I don't have someone over my neck saying, "Info man, you can't report on this, you can't report on that." The worst thing that can happen to me if I report on something is that YouTube takes down the video. But I know how to stay within those guidelines of YouTube. But YouTube still allows us to broadcast and put out information that they're not going to tell you on CNN, Fox, and any of this stuff. Usually when they put black folks on those shows, they're usually buck dancing and they can't say what they really want to say. They're usually neutered because they're concerned that if I say the wrong things, they're not going to let me back on CNN, Fox and Friends, MSNBC. They're not going to allow me to be a contributor to their misinformation news. This man is only going to do 1 to 2 to 5 years in prison, or he'll be given a pre-trial diversionary program that he will be involved in. So they may have this cop picking up garbage from the freeway, doing community service work out there, doing janitorial work. He could be in, they might put him in some halfway, they may put him in some prison program, some jail program where he's not in a maximum security. He's in some little, he's in some camp, like he's going to a camp or something. They may just very well do something like that. Let me stop. I believe so. I really believe so. I'm back on, folks. I'm not going anywhere. All right, let me put that back on there, like so. So let me see what people are saying in the chat room right now. Let me look at this. We got they're all gangs. We got Sister Natural in the house. Make sure you check out her channel. Beautiful sister too. Gorgeous, I gotta be honest. She says, "Hey, information man, thank you for being here." Now we got Black Man saying 15,000 was his bail. So, oh, wow, Black Man, thank you. Thank you for the information. So he gets 15,000 bail. 15,000, not a million, 15,000 bail. And he's going to have to do a $10,000 fine for getting the low class D felony, which is what it is in the state of Kentucky. And I'm not a big fan of these southern states, to be quite honest with you, that have these type of draconian laws on the books that don't help us. something needs to be done to get rid of these draconian type laws off the books one way or another. I don't know. You tell me, folks, if I'm wrong, if I'm right. Now, Jay Dunn, what is she saying? Let me see your transcript is in the house. What's going on? Let's see. We got Tommy who says, the link, brother, I got key information. You got key information? Let me see. Pink link, brother, got key information about the case. Wow. So let me ask you all this too. And I said this earlier in the program. Why did they start boarding up the community if they did not know what the verdict was going to be? Anybody that thinks that the police in Louisville did not have a clue that the verdict was not going to be one favorable to the public at large and to the people in the community there that were looking for a guilty verdict, in terms of verdict in which all three cops would be held accountable, because this is why the other cops are responsible. Even the ones who didn't, even if they didn't shoot their guns, they never did anything to stop their quote unquote partner. They never told him, don't shoot into the house. They're lying. They're saying that they gave a warning. 12 witnesses said they did not give a warning. So therefore, if they did not give a warning, they are all should be incriminated in this situation, because all three officers did not have the frame of mind to do the right thing by, one, saying, this is the police. Knock at the door and say, this is the police. Had they did that, why would Brother Walker, why would he need to take his firearm out and shoot through the door? If he knew it was the police and they said, this is the police, there would not have been a need for him to have shot back at them, which he was well within his right in a state that's an open carry state to protect himself, to protect Breonna Taylor in this situation. Right? Wrong? Am I right or wrong? All right. There's something in my throat. So he was well within his right to protect himself. I'm going to say that again. Now, another thing I want to get on about the buck dancing Attorney General Daniel. He had the audacity today to say that there's going to be activists. There's going to be people on TV. There's going to be people out there, even like myself, who are going to say things about this case, but they don't know what they're talking about because they're not down here. Wait a minute. That tells you everything you know, that this Negro had no intentions of seeking justice for Breonna Taylor. How can you tell people across the country and activists that they can't have an opinion, they don't know what they're talking about, when the evidence, you judge a tree, let me just say this. You judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Okay? In this case, you got two officers who have not been indicted, and you have one that was only given a low felony Class D. If you don't believe me, look it up yourself. Look up a Class D felony in the state of Kentucky and read the statute and what it means. This is some bull. You know what?
Tell the truth.
Now check. Let me read something off to you. The night that this whole incident happened, there was one young lady, one girl who woke up and stated that she thought it was a domestic dispute when the cops were trying to break into the home. Other neighbors woke up to gunshots out of that 12. So you got to ask yourself, let me just say this right here. Why were the police there in the first place? I said that already. Why were they there in the first place? Why were they there? What are your thoughts? Beverly Palmer's in the house. Sincere. Thank you for being in the house. If you're here, Sister Smith, thank you for being here. I see you, Sister Smith. I know you from Sister Goddess. There's some folks in the chat room who may have come over from Sister's Goddess channel. I have went over. There's a beautiful sister who has a channel by the name of Goddess, and she's got a dynamic channel, does very good numbers. So she's got an audience. And I'm going to be interviewed by her on her channel, just giving more tips about, as content creators, how we can improve our channels, the things that we can do to improve our channels. And a lot of the ladies over there and men, a lot of the folks that follow her, some of them have subscribed to my channel and have come over to give me support tonight and probably will be supporting me throughout other videos that I'll be doing. I've got a lot of content that I'm going to be cranking out. I took a little bit of a break. I had to take a little bit of break, not because I've got super personal problems going on, but I was in the midst of getting a new computer, playing around with new software, trying to improve some things for the program. So in the process of doing that, I needed to take a little bit of a break in the process of getting some things, some bells and whistles set up. Okay. But so I want to thank all of those folks. Let me see. Gentrification. See, Black Man says gentrification. Yes, Black Man. I'm glad you brought that up because there was an article that I read around the Breonna Taylor situation in which they said that they believe that gentrification of this community played a role in her death. And if I'm not mistaken, in her being killed by these cops. Let me just say that. I think if I'm correct about that article, Black Man, tell me if I'm wrong or right, that they've been trying to get black folks out of that building. So when you say, well, why were the police there that night? Why did they do that? I was hearing and reading looking at that article about that they've been going around in that community trying to drive black people out of that community. And the building that she lived in is just another excuse that they have been using to drive black people out of that apartment complex. Now, Black Man, am I correct? If not, correct me, put information in the chat room, or you have a ranch, brother, put the link to the article because I don't have it at hand right now. Put the link.
Information is power.
Put the link to that article in the chat room is what I'm basically saying in a nutshell. Do that, brother. Do that. Okay?
Tell the truth.
So if you could do that, if anybody has, we got the lovely AC who's just come back into the house, and I will be getting her back on to talk to her about a lot of different issues. And Brother Tommy, I see you in the house. You've been supporting my channel, brother, quite a bit. So you definitely will be at some point in time getting your blue ranch. Because I notice people who support me heavily, who come over and share out my video. And that's another thing. Definitely share out the video tonight. I would definitely appreciate that. But let me just tell you right now in a nutshell. And I think it's obvious to everybody. I had a strong feeling, as many people did, not just me. I had a strong feeling that the young lady was not going to get real justice. And the reason why, as I said before, When they gave him the $12 million, that was very unusual because they don't normally give people payments like that without them going through a civil case for civil damages. So this is what I believe. This is my theory. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably right. I believe that they probably knew that they were going to have a verdict that would not be in the favor of the family, who the family said themselves that they wanted second-degree manslaughter because they knew they couldn't get the murder because of how screwed up the Kentucky state laws are. So they went with they didn't get that. I think that they knew that they were going to screw the family and they were going to screw Sister Breonna Taylor from getting the justice in her death, because they said, let's just give this family some money, which will make them feel happy, even though we know we're not going to put that cop in any serious, he's not going to do any serious time, and we'll bite the bullet and give this family $12 million. So they can't say that we didn't do anything for them. When the family said they wasn't looking for any money. Anybody in the chat room, if your child is killed in this manner, daughter, son, whoever, nephew, sister, brother, is there any amount of money that you believe will make you feel whole? Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that they should have gotten some type of damage financially out of this situation. Hell, I believe that they should have gotten every red, nickel, dime, cent, penny, I don't care, four-leaf clover, a diamond pinky ring, everything that the state of Kentucky is worth. The Breonna Taylor family should have got all of it. Diamonds, TVs, flat screens, cat cars, every damn thing, houses, everything. Everything that the state of Kentucky is worth, their resources should have been sucked dry. Now you say, well, wait a minute, Info, that sounds crazy because people live in the state of Kentucky, they make a living. What about the other people? I'm just saying, I'm just saying in my own personal way that the $12 million was chump change. It was, let's make these Negroes go away money. One of the things I do enjoy is the fact that the mother of Breonna Taylor, and tell me if I'm wrong or right, she hasn't come out and started talking about, we need to forgive everybody, forgive the police. We got to hold hands and sing spirituals. We've got to sing together. We've got to stick together. We've got to sing the spirituals. We've got to hold hands in unison. We've got to forgive. Forgive. Because forgiveness would be the Christian thing to do. Let's all join hands in the chat room together. Put your hands. No. You take my family member out. You do harm to me. I'm going to do something that's going to put you on the 10 o'clock news. I'm going to be on the 10 o'clock news. No. There's no room for forgiveness because from what I understand about this area in Louisville, and I talked to someone who lived down there, this is commonplace in how they treat black people. It's commonplace from what I understand. Now, let me go back into something real quick here. And let me do something right minute before I go on, folks. Let me go to a quick commercial break. before we continue on here. So with that said, sisters and brothers, let's go to a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with you in a quick moment. And I appreciate everybody out there listening. Make sure you share this video in your personal social media on everything. I appreciate that. And let's get into it now for the commercial.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope y'all wearing your mask everywhere you go, and more specifically that KN95, protecting against all the germs that are in the air. But also I want to tell y'all one more thing to stay safe. Hand sanitizer, but with aloe vera. So you put some of this on, you rub it around. Not only do you knock all the germs, but the aloe vera smells so amazing that you're killing two birds in one stone without drying out your skin, because traditional hand sanitizer leaves your hands feeling clammy and disgusting. So definitely get hand sanitizer with aloe vera. So one more thing I want to tell you about, though. This code right here, cut the check. So let's say you bought a couple of masks, and you bought a couple hand sanitizers, and your order exceeds $50. We waive the shipping fee with the code cut the check. So on your checkout, remember to put that in.
All right. Okay. All righty.
Information is power.
Okay, everybody. So once again, you saw that. If you need a mask, definitely check that out. I hope you like that advertisement. I think some of you have probably seen it around the YouTube streets. So definitely that's a black-owned company. So if you're going to go out and get a mask, why not support a black-owned company and give them some support and support it. I want a mask now, so check it out. I appreciate you all once again coming over tonight, supporting the program. We're talking about the Breonna-Taylor case. A lot of folks in the chat room tonight. We got good folks coming in. Sister Smith, Brother Aduvian, Black Man's in the house. RY is in the house. And Jay Dunn is in the house. She says, if you want to help this channel continue to grow and you want more knowledge, you can cash out. Jay Dunn, I love you for that, sister. I love you for that. Tiffany Jackson is in the house. Black-owned businesses, yeah. And then we got my man, the real Aaron Collins. We got Patience is in the house. We got Brother Chaos is in the house. And I've been knowing him for quite some time. So let me give Brother Chaos a moderator status, because I've known him for quite some time on these YouTube streets. So there you go, Brother Chaos. So I appreciate you coming over, Sister Smith. Lovely sister. I thank you for coming over and checking what I've got going. Oh, AC, why did you go ahead and do that? AC, you went ahead and you did it. She super chatted me.
Thank you for the super chat.
But now you know what I got to do here. You know what I got to do now, and I got to, bring in the special effects here, and let me give it to you like that, and bam. All right.
Thank you for the super
Okay.
chat.
Let me read what AC is saying here, but I thank you for the super chat, definitely. Woo, there you go. Woo, woo. All right. There we go. There we go there. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So, wow, AC, thank you for that. Let me read what she's saying here. Lovely AC. She says, much love and respect to the information man for using your platform to highlight the value of our black kings and queens. Thanks a lot. Look, and this is a sister that she has a podcast that she's in development with right now. And I'm going to get her on this platform and shoot the breeze with her about a variety of different things. Actually, I definitely would like to get a few ladies on the panel to talk to them about a variety of different issues that are on my mind. This issue here with Breonna Taylor, but thank you for super chatting me. I appreciate that a lot. And then we've got Brother Chaos that's come in the house, Brother Earl Owens that's come in the house, all these wonderful people that are supporting what a brother's trying to do here tonight. I really appreciate that. So once again, you all know the details. You followed this case just like me. But this attorney general out there, this Daniel, this buck dancing, buckwheat, cream of wheat, buck dancer, he didn't do anything to really help Sister Breonna Taylor and her family. He's on the Donald Trump train, and that's okay. You can support who you want to support. I'm going to be doing maybe this weekend coming up, or maybe I got to figure it out. I'm going to be doing a video very soon breaking down to you, and I should get Brother Sanchez on for this because he's been going strong on his channel about this issue. Let me read what Brother Duvian is saying. There is a bunch of scientists who have come out saying we are past the pandemic and we need to get back to freedom. But the emphasis of the psych apps aren't having it. Let me do a test in here. I know people don't like wearing masks. How many of you, from a show of putting a 1 in the chat room, how many of you believe in what we call population control? How many of you believe that population control exists? Push a 1 in the chat room. And we got my man Aaron Collins with the $15 super chat, which I appreciate. He says, my brother information man, the topics you put out are like healing brains to our community. Let me put this back up here, to our community. Keep up the excellent work. Hey, brother, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
And I got to give you some love, too, with the special effects here. Here we go, brother. All right.
Thank you for the super chat.
All right, brother. All right. See? So I had to give you that, and I appreciate that. So everybody in the chat room believes. Let's do a test here. So everybody, Sister Smith, she's a lovely lady too. She says, much love and respect. Hey, I appreciate you coming over and supporting me. I know it's late for a lot of people, but I'm not going to go on too much longer. She gave me a $9 super chat, Sister Smith, and I love the support. I thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
And now for you, sister, I got to do the same thing. I got to give you a little love. All right? Fireworks style. Woo!
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Woo! Here we go. Peace to you.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, everybody. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All that you're doing in the chat room, supporting what a brother is trying to do tonight. I really have to say I appreciate it again. So let's go back up here. Boom. Put that back up there again. And man, let me see. Something happened, and I don't know what in the world happened here. But let me put this over here like so, and see if I can. Boom! There you go, folks. So as I was saying before, thank you again. Something is going on. So for those of you who put a 1 in the chat room, if you believe that depopulation is real, meaning you believe in chemtrails, you believe that they're doing things to our food, doing things to our air, which means that they're trying to decrease the population. And there was an article on CNN, if you didn't see this article, where they said that 1 out of 3 black people in America actually know someone who has COVID-19 or has died of COVID-19. And believe it, you can believe this is not true, but black people are being affected by even with our melanin. Black people are being affected by this virus. So if you believe in population control, in depopulation, then you got to ask yourself, how can you believe that how can you say, I don't want to wear a mask? And you have to ask yourself, when people are coming up to you constantly telling you not to wear a mask, you have to ask yourself, this is just a thought, folks. You think for yourself. When people are constantly asking you to wear a mask, not wear a mask, ask yourself, what's their agenda? If you believe in population control, that they're going to try to take us out, then my question is, wouldn't you want to utilize anything that you can to keep yourself from catching a virus, whether you believe it was made in a laboratory? Wouldn't you want to do anything you can to prepare yourself from not eating GMO food, eating anything that's toxic to your body? Wouldn't you believe in living a healthy life as best as you can to fight against the inevitable of this depopulation program? Because we know in 1974, that Henry Kissinger had a program where he talked about creating famines, using food as a weapon by starving out what they called third world countries, by messing around with the food source. Check this out. I know I got a little bit off topic here, but I had to bring this up. We know that they told us that there was a toilet paper shortage. How many of you ever thought that maybe that was an experiment? They start with toilet paper and say, let's see how people in America will respond when you take away something as basic as toilet paper. Now let's see how they respond if you take away food, if you take away this. Let's see how they respond if we tell them they can't come outside. And yes, you can also say that let's see how they respond if we tell them they must wear a mask. Yeah, you can say that too. We are constantly being experimented on to create social engineering in this world we call America, okay? This world we call America. We're always being socially manipulated in all sorts of ways. And the breonna-Taylor situation is another form of manipulation. Give the family $12 million so that we can give them money to make people out there now say, okay, the family got something. That should hush them up. Let's tell people that this cop is getting a felony, even though he's not getting the felony for actually killing Breonna Taylor, but for endangering other people in the building. See, how many of you out there realize that? How many of you realize that these police officers are being protected by something called the Castle Doctrine? The Castle Doctrine. Look that up and what that means. We got Uncle Frank in the house, and somebody super chatted me. Let me give them some respect here. That was Brother Tell the Truth. Yes, Tell the Truth.
Tell the truth.
Brother Earl Owens came in the house and super chatted me. So that means I've got to give the brother respect and give him the respect that I gave everybody else by giving him the special effects here. And here we go.
Tell the truth.
Thank you for the super chat.
All right, brother. All right, I'm back. This is the information man. I'm back. And I want to thank you for the super chat, $2 super chat by Brother Earl Owens, who's been rocking with me for quite some time now. And I appreciate that, brother, for coming over tonight. So I want everybody to think about that. Really think about what I'm saying. When people are asking you not to do this, not to do that, always ask, why are they invested in trying to make me do something? If you want to wear a mask, if you don't want to wear a mask, then that's your business. Don't try to force it on everybody else. If you want to wear a mask, guess what? I'm not going to force anybody, but this is the problem. This is the problem. I think when you go into a public place, like a store, any of these kind of, then I think you should be respectful to other people who may not want your germs per se. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't want anybody's germs, and I don't want to bring anything home, because this COVID-19 is really real. It is real. And so that's what I wanted to say about that. We got Try It, Buy It, and Make It and Sell It, who came in the house saying, do you remember a few years ago, the dancer trio made the mask fashionable? I believe that was to normalize them. Okay, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. You're hitting on something that could be very true. Now we got 1976 swine flu. The devils, he says, lied, and just like they are now saying how bad it is. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Brother Aduvian. Right now at this point in time, I don't think that the CDC has any credibility. No credibility, because now they changed and said, well, you need to be further than 6 feet away from people. They keep changing stuff because they're also been corrupted by the Trump administration. So I don't trust anything that's being said anymore. You got to trust yourself, your own instincts, take care of yourself, eat well. That's another area that no one's talking about. And I made a video that I never released, and I should have released this video. Why is it that nobody is heavily focusing on the fact that you need to improve your diet, your health, your supplementation? Why is it that no one's telling you to take vitamin D? There's been a connection between vitamin D and how it helps you with fighting against COVID-19. I'm not saying it's a cure. I'm simply saying that it reinforces your immune system. So we really should be building our immune systems up, is what I'm basically saying. Okay? So I know I got a little bit off topic there, but it was a good thing because folks had some good things to say in the chat room. They want, let me see what's going on here. We got a smooth dancing Nick. COVID is real, but not as serious as the media portrays it. Interesting. Okay. We got Jackie who's come in the house. Thank you for being here, sister. Now, let me ask you, how many of you out there listening to me right now, how many of you out there think, because Breonna Taylor is one of the first ones now, how many of you out there think that Jacob Blake is going to get, that brother's going to get justice, that the cops are going to be held accountable? How many of you think that the cops are going to be held accountable completely in what happened to George Floyd? I don't even think we've had the case for Rashad Brooks yet. Has the case been for him? And another thing that you all have no, let me correct myself. Have we forgotten about Robert Fuller, the young brother out there in Anaheim, California, where I live, where they claim that he hung himself in a community where you have a lot of white supremacist groups, hate groups? You notice they've never told us what became of that situation. You notice that? Have you heard anybody in the media do any more follow-up on Robert Fuller and those black men that were being found mysteriously hung? How many of you have forgotten about that situation? And Sister AC has super chatted me again. Let me go back over here and hit the thing.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat, and here it goes one more time.
Thank you for the super chat.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
All right, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So let me read what AC just said as she super chatted me. And thank you again for the super chat again, sister. Let me read what she says. AC says the fact that people so willing to wear masks without asking questions shows how easily people's minds can be influenced by those in positions of power. I agree with you. Anything that we do, we should not engage ourselves like we're sheep. We should not act like sheep. You question everything. I remember when I was in college and I had a professor who said you must question to think critically, to use your critical thinking skills. You must question everything. You must always question authority. You must question everything that you read and turn it inside out. Look at every side of the coin. That's to think critically. Okay? Do your research. When people talk about things, you go out, and everything that I've talked about tonight, I'm going to say it again. Go and do your research and say, let's find out what is this Class D felony that the police officer that shot into that room is going to get. And what is it, a serious time he's going to get? And you're going to be surprised when you find out that the man ain't going to get no serious nothing. Okay? I've got to be honest about that. I would be lying to you if I was not honest about that, ladies and gentlemen, and had that up there. And so you are correct, Sister AC. Tonight, you're on the money. And we got Jam It All says, I'm a lead. What's going on, too? I want to say Rashad Green is in the house. Says the Bible, God tells people to question everything. Yeah, the Bible does too. You should question any and everything. Jackie says, yep, that's why debates should be a requirement in high school to promote critical thinking. Yeah, when I was in high school, I did debate team, that type of stuff. So debate team and all that stuff is important. But I'm going to be honest with you. They don't really teach kids how to think critical in schools. They don't teach your kids how to think in high school and junior high school. They teach your kids simply how to regurgitate. They don't teach you the process of how to think and research and think critically and understand how learning is a linear. There is no one way. You can't say that that you can't put everybody in a basket and say, this is what you are. You can't do that. Everyone has different variables and levels to themselves. Okay? So I'm just telling you right tonight, the Breonna-Taylor case, I'm telling you, this is my opinion, and some of you may agree or disagree. I believe it was a setup from start to finish to go. Started when they gave him the $12 million early on. I'm repeating this again. Before they even had a civil case, we should have been suspicious of that. When they start talking to us on the news about they were boarding up certain parts of the downtown areas, maybe a day or two ahead of time, that should have told you, if you didn't already figure it out, that this case was going to go against Breonna Taylor's family and the people who support her and her family. See, they can't get Breonna Taylor back. They can't get her back. That cop might go to jail for 2 to 5 years and he'll be out and be able to regurgitate his life all over again. He could probably move somewhere else and start fresh. Breonna Taylor's not starting anywhere fresh. She's gone. She's gone from the third dimension of what we understand life to be in the third dimension that we're in. How many of you, I'm going to say it again, how many of you in the chat room believe other victims of the police, black people, not people of color, are going to get shafted by the legal system? Because they always tell us, be calm, let the legal system do its thing. Don't tear anything up. Don't get aggressive. And they always will find a preacher or some talking head Negro on television to tell black folks to be calm. Don't make a lot of noise. Come on now. Come on now. Believe in the system. They'll bring out the Al Sharp. They'll bring out the black establishment to kind of calm us down. And they'll say the same thing they always tell us. Well, we didn't win. It shows that the system is a tragedy. It's a shame. It's bad, but we're going to keep moving forward. And every time I see Benjamin Crump, all I see him doing is cutting deals. But I never see him win. He hasn't won a case. He never wins cases. He's only a negotiator, ladies and gentlemen. But yet we think that he's this great lawyer because he's been on a few high-profile cases. But what has he won in those high-profile cases? What did he win? Come on now. What did he win? They got money, which means he gets what, 10%? He gets a cut of that. I'm not saying he's supposed to work for nothing, but it's funny how every case he's involved in, they don't get any judgments that go against the cops where they're going to do some heavy time in jail and be tried for the murder, for killing Breonna Taylor, or killing a Trayvon Martin. See, he's been involved in these, or killing a Michael Brown. We can name it. All these cases he's been involved in where there's been no justice. When this man he's been involved in these cases. I find that highly suspect. I don't know about you, but I see it as highly suspect. Crump is let me see here. Let me see what folks are saying here. Earl Owens. Let's see. Tommy is saying the office is charged with white neighbors ricocheted bullets, not. Thank you, God. Brother Tommy, here it goes, brother. Here it goes for you. Brother Tommy, thank you. The police were charged. That police officer was charged for the reckless behavior that caused neighbors in the building who were white. Let's keep it real. I'm sure there were other neighbors that weren't white, but these neighbors, for shooting bullets that went through their room, so they get justice for that. So the people who lived in the building who had bullets flying through their doors and through their windows or through their walls, I think it was walls, they got justice for that. But the woman who lost her life and there was no medical care as she laid there for 20 minutes gasping for her life, she got nothing. Make that make sense to me, somebody. Make that make some sense. Can you make it make sense? So, Tommy, you are on the money with that. Let me read that again. Tommy says the officers that charged with white neighbors ricocheted bullets, not Breonna's death. There it is in a nutshell. We got KK in the house. What you mean? What's going on, KK? KK says, and they still gonna tear up Kentucky. Riots are coming. Watch. Yeah, yeah, something's gonna happen. But the police out there are also on high alert. You know what I noticed today? I mean, I wonder how many of you picked up on this. When I was driving home, I was listening to CNN on my, I got like with that satellite radio in my car. And I was driving home, and they said that the police in Louisville, Kentucky were riding around in pickup trucks. You know what came to my mind when I thought about that? I said, okay, it's Kentucky, it's the South. Isn't that reminiscent to the Ku Klux Klan or to what they would do to black people in the South, where the good old boys would get in their vans and their trucks, were mainly their trucks, and they would drive through the areas and they would grab black people and lynch black people and do black people wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that is in tradition with Kentucky. Police jumping in these trucks, riding off in these trucks, in these pickup trucks, so that they can jump out on somebody. Ain't that something? Now check this out. Kyle Rittenhouse, I know he shot white people in Kenosha that were protesting for Black Lives Matter, but check out the contrast here. Breonna Taylor is killed in her home. The police claim that they said, we're the police. 12 witnesses said, no, they didn't. They tried to dirty up her character with drugs. Come to find out that was all a lie. They tried to get her boyfriend to turn state's evidence against her and lie. That was, and check this out. Where's the federal investigators to investigate this? See? So no investigation of this situation. Sorry about that. I'm getting something in my eye. No investigation of that situation. Kyle Rittenhouse goes into Kenosha from Chicago, Illinois, from out of Illinois. He goes down there and he shoots two people, and the people ran at him because he had shot one person. That's why they were going after him for the gun. He shot and killed two people, injured one, and the Republican Party and conservatives are backing his play. They then gave him bail money, the whole 9 yards, helping this guy out. He's probably not going to get charged when it's all said and done. I wouldn't be surprised. But Breonna Taylor can't get any justice. So you see what I mean? We got two worlds. We got one white, one black. I'm sorry, folks. That's the truth. We got two justices, one for white folks, one for black folks, given your complexion. Some folks have the complexion for the protection, as I said earlier. So that is simply the situation. So everybody, I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to end the program because I know it's late for a lot of people across the country. I believe I've said all I can say about this. I'll be back with some more content. I definitely want to do a political show. I want to break down why in politics you have one eagle bird. Put my arms out. Or let me do this so that you guys can get a better look at what I'm doing here. You got the eagle arms out. You got right wing, you got left wing and right wing. Right? We have a government system that divides people. We're being divided over either you're going to vote Republican or you're going to vote Democrat. Why is it that we don't have a just system in this society where we can take the best of both political parties and put it into one? Why is it that the country is divided between parties? And we are the ones being bamboozled because most of these politicians, they go to schools like Yale, Harvard. They're members of things like Skull and Bones. They're members of Freemasonry. They're members of secret societies, so-called secret societies, in which they all congregate with each other in brotherhood. Isn't it interesting? So I'm going to go deep into that. I should get Brother Sanchez on my show so that he can go even deeper too. But I'm going to get into that. And before I go, everybody, you know that I do podcasting as well. The Information Man Speaks podcast. On this video, if you go to my page and scroll down, go and subscribe to my second channel, The Information Man Speaks podcast. I definitely would appreciate that, most definitely. And you can hear me on these platforms. I haven't put any new, fresh material up on those platforms in a little while because I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm going to be launching some new material on the radio style portion of the podcast on these platforms. We got TuneIn, we got Stitcher, Spotify, okay? We got let me see, Apple Podcasts. You can't see that well. We've got iHeartRadio. I'll be on Amazon pretty soon. So these are some of the platforms that I'm on that you can catch me on. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So definitely catch me over there if you can. And I appreciate your support and all that you have been doing to support the channel. Make sure you share the video on all your social media, everybody. I love everybody out there that's been rocking with me for a while. I'm coming back. I took a little bit of a break, but I'm coming back strong with some good material that I'm going to be digging into. So everybody out there, have a good night. Definitely share the video. Appreciate you being here, and love and peace to you out there, to all of you. Peace. Peace, everybody. We got RY in the house, Earl Owens in the house, Tree Trimmers come in the house. Peace to Tree Trimmer. Peace to Tree Trimmer. What's going on, Tree Trimmer? Yeah. And then we got Black Man's in the house. Sister Natural's in the house. Peace to you. I know that I say, look, I'm going to say this right now. My channel, love or hate it, I'm going to talk about things that some people like. I'm going to talk about things that some people may not like or may not be able to engage in, but I'm going to be truthful.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
I always have to be truthful, okay? Now, what I got to do before I even break out of here is let me put something up here, because Breonna-Taylor, this sister, is the reason why I did this tonight. She's the one who did not get justice. I'm just going to keep it 100% real. She did not get justice. I want you to give her parents, her family, put them in your prayers. I don't know what's going to happen, if there's going to be more protests. I think there's going to be more protests. There's going to be more things happening. I don't want anybody to get hurt out there, but when you live in a society like we live in, where you get no justice and equality, it is going to cause people to do violent things. And I don't like violence, but I'm just saying, for every action, there is going to be a more visceral reaction. So remember that. For every action, there is an even more powerful visceral reaction in these situations. And before I go tonight, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's not going to hurt you to subscribe. Come on now. Subscribe to the channel. Check it out. See what I'm doing over here. Support the channel. It ain't going to hurt you to support the channel and what I'm doing here. And once again, let me get on out of here, folks. Thank you again. All right. Peace, everybody.
Baby, I'm not my cake and eat it too. But a little time will be enough for me to prove that, baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Yeah, I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues.
Good night, everybody. I appreciate it.
With you, my highs and my lows, it's part of being human. Can you weather the storm? I'm starting to believe you can, 'cause baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Drinking from your bottle, baby, calling it wasted love, wasted love. I can't get enough of my baby, I'ma be wasted love, wasted love. I'm spilling liquor on the carpet, on the couch, I feel it dripping from my mouth. Drinking from your bottle, baby, calling it wasted love, wasted love. Moon is rising and the stars are coming out, but we're missing 'cause we're way down on the ground. Ain't nobody interrupting if we decide. I just need a night with you, baby. Yeah. Then we be blinded by the lights, oh. We get this feeling, oh, so right, oh. I'm so over being.
All music is licensed. All my music is licensed.